storm of the season, Ajax. We named it about 30 minutes ago. That is when Denver went under blizzard warnings.
All right, so we'll track what that means. Yes, it is. So we're going to take a look at all the different aspects of this storm. There's a severe side, there's a very strong windy side, which Denver is a part of, and then of course there's the snowy side of things.
First name Ajax. By the way, last year we had our first named A storm November 9th, so we're about average here when it comes to named storm. And by the way, a blizzard warning means you have winds at 35 miles an hour, sustained or frequently gusting to that, visibility down to a quarter of a mile or less for 3 hours or more.
And when it comes to the criteria of us giving a storm a name, it's very specific. It has to have at least 2 million people that will be impacted, or 400,000 square kilometers. We want to make sure it's an impact storm, that it will create an impact for a large number of people. So these names are not given easily. Ajax, first one on the list. It's a committee of 3 that makes that decision here at the Weather Channel.
All right, so there are blizzard warnings you can see extending into Denver, otherwise blizzard watches, and then all sorts of winter storm warnings here that are posted. It means something different in every little area. So let's talk about what exactly the setup is. And we have this big upper level low. That's this thing spinning right here. This is cold air that's being pulled in with this system.
And so that's the upper level energy. That is going to drive a surface low to develop. And we are going to see that continue to pull out, probably swing just south of Colorado, but set up somewhere about here and drive that wind either from the north or from the northeast. And that will give us the snow accumulation in the Denver metro and certainly in the Front Range and the mountains too.
And what makes a huge difference here is if you fly into Denver, you know the airport's a little east of the city. As you go out, the mountains are situated north-south, but just to the south of Denver, they're situated more east-west. So if you have a northeasterly wind, you get that moisture being pushed up and squeezed out, so you get more snow for Denver. If you have more of a straight north wind, then the mountains to the south are going to squeeze it out.
And that's where we think that we are certainly going to get bigger totals just south of Denver, right along that Palmer Divide right here.
And it's also about
more
2,000 more feet.
It's about 1,500 more feet right there. All right, so we're watching for the snow and the wind blowing around. That snow will be a big deal. Steph mentioned the blizzard warnings, so we'll talk more about that.
Steph, so that moisture is swinging across the country as well. It's just not moving quite as fast.
Well, we've already seen flooding rains in the Pacific Northwest. Let's head to Washington State and talk about our... Just about 20 minutes past the hour on this Monday, you're watching AMHQ. We are your travel headquarters, so it's the time of the morning where we talk about how the weather is going to impact your commute. And Kate's giving me the side eye because there are so many places that are seeing rain, and that have seen rain in the overnight hours. Kansas City, you're one of them. And we're starting to see, once that rush hour started ramping up, a lot of accidents popping up around the city because of the wet pavement. So
I've driven there in the rain before. I can tell you it's bad in the rain.
So, you know, Overland Park, Johnson, Clay. We've got a look at, this is 35 at 75th. So you can notice, you know, what you call the sheen on the roads and the backup.
There must be an accident right in here.
I have not noticed it, but I do know that there are accidents in the area. Maybe that's a freeze frame. I don't know, but that does not look good.
It's time now to talk about tornadoes and how exactly they're formed. Today, we could see severe weather popping up late this afternoon with the Oklahoma-Texas border looking at a torcon of 5.
All right, so we want you to be prepared. This morning, Jim Cantori helps us get a better understanding of the anatomy of a tornado.
Breaking weather news, we have our first name winter storm. That is Ajax, and there's a blizzard warning in effect for Denver.
All right, Denver, you're the ones that pushed us over the edge